And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the September 12th edition of Makers of Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Todd. How are you doing today, folks? First up, let me know, can you see me? Can you hear me? We should all be good to go there for stuff. Comments should be posting on the screen down there. Good morning, Danielle. How are you? And Burners. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Well, it's your first time here, long time here. I need to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, what the weather is like in your area, and 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? I've got a watermelon wave Alani this morning, so that's not too bad. It's going to be like 8,000 degrees this weekend, so the fall summer is going to be in full effect. And then our 5 things is I've got meetings. I've got a few different meetings today with HR and VAs. Then I have DTF that needs to get done, stickers that need to get done, flock that needs to get cut. And yeah, that's it, right? Meetings, DTF, stickers, flock. So those are 5 things that we have going on today. And today's topic is time management for the holiday hustle. That's what we're going to talk about. See, Claire, good morning to you. Linda, hello. Busy pressing, packaging, and delivering 138 soccer uniforms, jersey, shorts, socks, 3D printing. Hoping to finish in time to see my great nephew play some high school football. Linda is in for a busy, busy day. Jose, good morning to you. 5 things from Danielle. Me, embroider footballs. I love seeing embroidery on like footballs and baseballs and softballs and soccer balls and volleyballs and all the and that. I love seeing that. Design baptismal shirts, press middle school shirts, digitize high school reunion designs, work on Christmas ideas. Love it. Ooh, and find a new heat press. What are you looking for? I highly recommend you check out the Hottronics 16 by 20 autoclam. That is my favorite press. We use it all the time. And that will be the one that'll be in videos when we start doing those, almost positively. But you can go find it on our site. Peg, good morning to you. And Jeff, good morning. And we hear everything is there. Jeff's got 63 in Northern Kentucky Diet Coke in the cup. 5 things, rinse and repeat every single day. Detroit ginger ale. That's is that a regional thing? That's something new for me. I need everyday time management. Same thing. We can do it. Time blocks, time blocks, time blocks. Keith, good morning to you. And Claire's got 72 and sunny there in Virginia. Coffee in the cup, cutting a rhinestone template design. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, definitely look it up. You can go find it over on our site. Tons of great info on press over there. A lot is going to depend on what size you are looking for. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. And Barb, good morning to you. North Central Minnesota, 61 in rain. Water in the cup, 5 things, invoicing, customer pickups, sewing alterations, cut flock templates, 3D printing. Love it, love it, love it. Barb's got a rocking day there. All right, today we're talking time management. And, for holiday hustle, but in general, these can probably be used just about any time, right? Because, when I think holidays, the holidays bring in more orders. They definitely bring in more chaos. And I think they bring in more stress than any other time of the year. But if we have the right systems, we can stay productive and organized and get this, probably even enjoy the season instead of drowning in it. So we've got 5 ways that we can help do this. And we're going to talk about why batching production saves hours of wasted effort. How scheduling posts ahead frees your time for orders. The power of daily and weekly checklists to avoid mistakes. How time blocking will give your day structure and balance, and why building buffer time is going to keep surprises from derailing you. All right. So hoping by the end of this episode, you will have, at least be able to put a simple system in place to help get more done in less time and still have energy left to enjoy the holidays. So when we talk about this, one of the questions I had asked is, what is your biggest holiday time management struggle? What is your biggest holiday time management struggle, or time in there? You switch channels. I still see you. Connie, good morning to you. And Sarah, love my Hottronics autoclam from TRW. I love ours too. I love it. I love it because when we first started with DTF, we can adjust the pressure on that. It became a hover, so it would just hover right over that and could cure stuff that way. Pretty nice. Chuck's got 74 and sunny, headed to only 84 today. I think we're headed to like 87 today. I think is what I had seen. Let me do a quick little first alert look and see what we got, because we're at 64 headed for 89. 64 headed for 89, and then 90s the rest of the weekend. So it'll be a rocking good time for it. Ooh, that is a big struggle, Connie. Not saying no is the biggest struggle. So hard to do that. But we got to set those rules and make that happen so that way we can do it. That's what we got to do. All right. So for all of us, the holiday season is both a blessing and a curse, right? On one hand, it's the busiest and most profitable time of year. And on the other, it can feel like a tidal wave of orders, messages, and those last minute requests that is crashing over you. Without a clear time management system, it is very, very easy to burn out even before you hit December. But the good news is, time management is not about being perfect. All right. It's about creating systems that help keep moving you forward without drowning you in chaos. By batching your work, scheduling your posts ahead of time, using simple checklists, you can actually stay on top of your business and still enjoy the holiday with your friends and family. And so we've got 5 tips for you so we can start managing time like a pro during this upcoming holiday hustle, right? So number 1 is batch your production, because in business, one of the biggest time wasters is switching between tasks constantly, right? Every time you change from pressing a shirt to packaging orders to answering emails, you lose focus and momentum, right? Think about this. If we're in the middle of something and we stop and go do something else and we come back to it, how long does it take to get back in the groove of that, right? Happens all the time. Still happens to me all the time. Try to minimize that. All right. And one ways to minimize that is, batching your production by grouping similar tasks together. This means pressing all transfers at once, packaging all orders at once, setting aside a specific time for communication. Now, batching allows you to get in that rhythm and move faster without the mental clutter of switching gears. It also makes it easier to track progress. You know exactly which stage each order is in. And during rush times, batching can mean the difference between staying on schedule and falling behind even further and further and further. So ways that I've seen people do this is they dedicate afternoons just to pressing all their bulk things. So in the afternoon, here, we're doing this from this time to this time. By batching, it saves it. They bulk it together. Tuesday, Thursday, this one we're batch bulking. Done. And that keeps them from bouncing back and forth throughout the week on different tasks. Another one they know their cutoff time for their mail. They know on average how long it takes for them to have things packaged up. So they know that if my mail delivery gets picked up at 3 and it takes me an hour to package and sort and do anything on that back end of things, that, okay, I want to have everything ready to go by 2:30. Takes me an hour, I need to start that at 1:30. So no matter what, 1:30, stop what we're doing, and that way we're going to go make sure that everything is packaged up and ready to go before the pickup. So that way you're no longer scrambling for those last minute boxes and random orders, right? So this is all we got to do. We just got to pick a time, and batch your similar tasks together, and then just start noticing, does things run smoother? Is there a specific cutoff time? If we have to have something done by a certain time, then what's the cutoff time to have that done by? So we're not stressing about it. Now, number 2, this is a huge one that I am part of all the time. And this is scheduling your social posts ahead of time, right? Because social media can be a huge time sink, not only during the holidays, but year round. Between creating posts and writing captions and remembering to hit publish, it's easy to waste hours you don't have. So instead, let's just schedule your posts ahead of time. And you can do this right in Meta with Meta Business. You can just go right in here with it. When your posts are scheduled, you really free up your brain to focus on production and customers. You ensure that your business stays visible during the busiest seasons. And this is even when you don't have time to think about marketing. It constantly builds trust, and scheduling makes, consistency possible. When we're looking at examples of this, somebody who scheduled their Black Friday post 2 weeks in advance, others scramble day of trying to figure out what to do for it, right? We're just set with it. Pre-scheduling those daily order reminder countdown on Facebook's. Here's our last day for stuff. Like we talked about setting a cutoff date. All right, now let's set all the posts. 7-day, 6-day, 5-day, 4-day, 3-day, only 2 days left. Last day. Today's the last day. So that way it's just done. We see that countdown reminder for it. Now, me personally, Sundays are my day where I usually take 2 hours and I schedule stuff for the week. Might even be an hour, just depends on how far I'm going into it, how many things I'm going to post. But if we can schedule anywhere on a low end for a day, 5 things, and on a high end, 15 things, and this is across all social media platforms, and it's done in just a couple hours at the beginning of the week, it's just done, right? So sit down today and schedule at least 3 posts for next week, right? That's 3 fewer things on your plate when the orders start piling up next week. All right. We just take care of it. Number 3, use daily and weekly checklists. This is where my list of 5 comes in at, right? Because the busier you get, the more likely you're more likely you're going to forget things. We all forget things. We still forget things. We just ran into this where we thought a store closed on one day. We had the report for it, and we actually had the date wrong. Yep. And so some things that got missed. So it is what it is. We're going to have to figure it out. It happens. A checklist may sound, super simple, but I'm telling you, it's really your safety net. Write down your daily must-do tasks. Those 5 things, right? Pressing, packaging, shipping, whatever it is. And then your weekly big picture items, ordering blanks, updating cutoff times, pictures. I couldn't think what it was. Uploading pictures. Checklist really keeps you grounded when your brain feels like it's just juggling 100 things. They also give you a sense of accomplishment. You get to cross things off and you see your progress, even on the craziest of crazy days. Now, there's multiple ways to do this. I know somebody who uses a daily whiteboard checklist with every order. It's just written on the whiteboard. And as they go through it, they erase it. So everything's on there. Here's the stuff that's going on. They notice that when they went to that, writing everything down in a physical thing and being able to erase it, everything started working better for it. Another one uses Trello, and they keep a checklist in Trello with deadlines for each order. Seeing the whole week at a glance, kept that stress level under control. So with this, we just need to write out your top 3 daily tasks on a sticky note before bed. Wake up. You're going to know exactly where to start. When I leave at the office at the end of the day, here's my list. Here's things that I need to get done for tomorrow. Here's my stuff that I need to work on, because we are already planning for it. So we come in, we know, hit the ground running of what we need to do. That's why I'm usually in the office between 5 and 6. I can get a lot done before the day starts and people start getting up, because it's just pure focus time to do it. The next one, something we did a lot when we had the storefront, was, time blocking. I still recommend that for when you're trying to get things done and you just don't feel like you have the time. Time blocking, what does that mean? You're just assigning specific times to specific tasks instead of just working until it's done. What this does is it gives you the structure and keeps one task from swallowing your entire day. For example, you might block mornings for production, afternoons for packaging, and evenings for customer communication. You don't need to break it down into 15 minutes, a half hour, hour. Here's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to produce right now. It's going to be 9 o'clock. We're going to work production from 9 to 12. From 12 to 2, we're going to work on shipping. And then from 2 to 4, we're going to go ahead and work on communication. So emails, DMs, things like that. We're just stopping what we're doing and we're moving on to that next task. What does this do? I think the most important thing is it protects your personal time, because without it, work can really spill into every single hour of every single day. And when we do these time blocks, we're creating boundaries. And so what does that do? Is it gives you space to breathe. And it's really going to make you more productive in the long run for it. So, examples of this. They said I gave one there. Another one, they blocked out 9 to 1. That's for production only. All right. Stopped answering messages during that time, put their phone on silent and do not disturb, put everything there, and they just worked on production for those 4 hours. Nothing else. And they found their output doubled because they were just focused on that. Another one blocked out evenings for family and stuck to it. Here's a schedule. Here's everything that's going on. 5 to 7, done. Family time, dinner, watch a show, do something. It's just done. Guess what? Business didn't collapse. Instead, weren't burnt out. Started showing up stronger the next day because they made sure to block out that personal time. Now, here's what we got. We're on Friday. Let's look forward to next week, right? So on Monday, hey, let's block. Let's block out 3 hours for something only. Whether that's production, social media, emails. Block out time. 3 hours may be much if you're trying to start with an hour, but we just need to turn off notifications and we just need to do it, right? Block out time on Monday. Are you going to block it out for production? Are you blocking it out for emails? Are you blocking it out for listings? Are you blocking it out for design time? What are you blocking it out for? Block it out and stick to it. All right. Now, number 5 is building in that buffer time. This one is a oldie but a goodie, because we should all be doing this, right? No matter how well you plan, something will always go wrong, right? Orders will get delayed, machines will act up, customers change their mind. Right? This is why we need to build in that buffer time. And what it does is, if you plan for 100% capacity, that smallest hiccup will completely derail you. Right? But if we leave that space for the unexpected, we can absorb those surprises without that crazy panic that comes along with them. Buffer time is also going to lower your stress. Knowing you have wiggle room is going to help you handle problems calmly instead of frantically. It turns crisis into small bumps, and that really is priceless in our business. All right. So, and if somebody that, they said their stuff is 5 to 7 business days, right? They always internally set it for 3 to 5, because it gives them that extra time to have space to fix mistakes without missing deadlines. All right. Another one, padded their shipping schedule by a day. Hey, when storms happen, you can't make it into your shop, customers still get things on time. It's a real thing, especially here in the Midwest, right? Snow, done. You're not going anywhere. So here's what we need to do is we need to build at least one extra day into our schedule. What do you mean? We only have 7. Yeah. What I mean is in your production, in your turnaround time. If you're typically, if you're telling everybody 5 days, tell them 6. If you're telling them, 5 to 7, we've got those in there. If you're saying 5 to 7, then you're striving to get things done to 4 or 5. So you build that time in there. So, to recap all of this, time management isn't about doing everything perfectly. All right. It's about creating systems that keep you afloat during holiday hustle, by batching, by scheduling, by making checklists, blocking out your time, leaving that buffer space. We can handle this without drowning in stress. And what are the ways we're going to do this? We're in batch production. We're going to schedule social media posts ahead. We're going to use daily and weekly checklists. We are going to time block our days. Forgot to throw that one. And we're going to build in that buffer time for it. Our business is busy, and the holidays will just make it busier. And if we don't have tools in place to help, the chaos will come hard. So By doing this, we'll stay in control. We're going to deliver on time, and we will still have the energy left to enjoy the season. That is what we got for you today. Monday, we're going to talk about preparing your customer service scripts because, hey, when things start getting crazy, the last thing we want to do is freeze when, customers ask tough questions, like, late orders, out of stock things, things pushing past deadlines. We're going to talk all about that on Monday. So I want to hear what you guys think. What are you going to block out time for today? How are you setting your stuff up? Remember, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to go like and subscribe because a lot of you are not subscribed. I see you. I see the metrics. I see that's there. So, hey, go turn that on. And sharing is caring. Remember, go ahead. Go share this with your friends. You should be able to find all links down in the descriptions for, all of us. One of the things, I don't promote a lot of our things enough. Our DTF transfers. Hey, now our Rhines from supplies, our print services, all that. You should be able to find all of that down there. Let's see. Peggy's got it's 73. Strawberry smoothie in the cup. Oh, Peggy, that's a way to start a morning. 3 business calls to follow up on. Very nice. Order shorts, get some Christmas designs edited, and watching grandbaby. That's a great day right there. And Danielle says, that's my biggest issue is keeping up on the social media. It gets so much scammers. So something like that. Here's an easy way to do it because scammers won't go through the effort, right? Real orders will go through the effort. Create an order form. Like, hey, here's an order intake form. We're going to create this. We need your name, your phone number, your address, email, what kind of product you're looking for, budget, in-hand date. Create that Google form. And then when somebody sends you a message, send it to them to fill out. Scammer isn't going to go through all of that for it, right? At least none of the ones that I've encountered, because people ghost you on it. If they don't fill it out, then they're not in the system. It's not even worth it, right? Lower stress? What's stress? Alan, that's because you're awesome at everything. Alan has no stress. Maybe we're just all good about hiding it. I'm stressed. I will tell you, I'm so stressed on so many different aspects of the business and life in general. But I try my best we're just going to bury that down there. We're just going to, let's just put that down there and not deal with that right now. Let's just keep the momentum going. And I'm not the best at it. And maybe we'll talk about that next Wednesday. We'll talk about business life balance and stress. That sounds like a good one. I could use that more than ever right now because of just what we're experiencing. And so when I can go through and find tools that help me, then you know what I do? I turn around and share them with you to help you on things because that's the kind of guy I am. With that, we'll wrap up today. We will get everything moving and shaking, right? Making and moving. We'll get everything moving along here. It's going to be a glorious weekend here. So get out, if you have a great weekend, get out there and enjoy it. Try not to be stuck working so hard. We're gonna try to make that. What's the same thing? TRW crew. If you are in the membership, this was a file that you can go download, and I want to see it as. I want to see you guys as a design as it. That's what I want to see. I want to see your colors, your stones. I want to see how it looks. Use the hashtag TRW crew, and I think we're going to do a giveaway on it. That's what we're going to do. It's the same one. I don't wear the same clothes every day, although I should. Tons of people made that smart assumption where it's like, hey, if I just wear the same stuff every day, I don't have to think. But when I'm chilly, sweatshirt, it's right here. I put it on because it's cold in the basement office, especially when the AC is on. And then take it off. And I put it on and I take it off. So that's what we got with it. All right. You guys have an amazing day. We'll be back Monday because, like I said, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're talking scripts on Monday. We'll talk, even making a mental note and a written note of that. Stress on Wednesday is what we'll talk about. So until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We will see.